What is up, guys, and welcome to Thought Cluster. Your boy Grif,
and Luke,
back at it again with another fucking pounder of a pod. Just an absolute heater.
Here we are, man.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, so we don't talk to each other throughout the week.
No, rarely.
Like, we've talked for maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, I just got here.
Yeah, you just got here, so it's kind of nice. We're trying to start it off.
The only communication that we have throughout the week is, send a couple memes each other's way.
Yeah, honestly, that's all it is. That's the only time we talk. If we didn't have this podcast, we'd never talk. Besides, like, hanging out.
I feel like one of us would have the urge to reach out.
Every once in a while, it's like, hey. And then it's like, hey, what's up?
Nothing much, just watching video. Yeah, yeah.
But it's weird because, like, transitioning from, like, high school into, like, in the real world, we're not going to talk to each other every day. But, like, in high school, you normally would.
Well, because we'd have jobs and, like, shit to do.
It's weird.
It's strange.
You wanna start us off with a
Yeah, I got a fucking topic or two. Not gonna lie. Actually, let's get back to what we were talking about before this. The new video that I'm posting.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I'm posting a new video. Well, kind of to fill you guys in a little bit. You can watch the video on my channel. I don't really want to talk about YouTube too much on the podcast. Even though, well, I guess this podcast is on YouTube anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to you.
And we'll talk about the podcast uploading here in a minute because I have some more I want to talk about that. But what was it about? I don't know. Probably almost a month ago now, I made a video talking about how I got scammed by the account called The Lovely Voice. You guys can find out more details on that. But I'm working on the new video because they responded. Because Matt, you know Matt.
Matt.
Fuck, Borders.
Yeah.
Fuck Borders, man. They suck. Build the wall. Fuck it. His last name's Borders. Matthew Borders. He DM'd the account with a screenshot of like my video and everything. And he replied to them with like not cool dudes or whatever. And I thought that was the funniest thing. And they responded to me and they're like, hey, because they watched the video.
Right.
I'm not going to go too much into like the details because you'll see it on the video. Luke, you haven't even seen the video because it's not even up yet.
Yeah, no.
As of right now. But I'm not going to go too much into details other than they handled it really well. They were really fucking cool about it. And it was there's a good conclusion that comes to it. But the video's 20 minutes long.
But see, I feel like for something so anticipated and something that was such a big deal, especially not just to you, but to other people that would have fallen into that trap, like that kind of needs to be addressed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 20 minutes or like 10 minutes.
And I'm sitting here editing this video because I literally just stopped editing it as soon as you got here. And like I recorded a whole new part for whatever, and I'm like really trying to make it as good as possible just because it's a long video and there's a lot of given information in it. And I feel like, people are going to enjoy it because it's like the first little bit of controversy, if you even want to call it that, on my channel. So it's like kind of a cool little thing and it's fun. But I will say this, like bigger YouTubers like PewDiePie, for example, when they handle controversy or whatever, they're always like, I'm like so done talking about this or whatever. But as the viewer, you're like, no, keep talking.
I want to hear more. Yeah, like
I get why. It's fucking exhausting. And this isn't even like that intense of a situation. It's just me and them, and that's really all it is.
Or just a tiny
and
bit
then
of, like
my audience and probably a little bit of theirs, maybe.
Right.
I don't think they have really a strong audience, though. I think it's just because they post other people's content. So it's like kind of weird.
They're not, it's not a single thing.
And my audience is 6 people. So,
other people.
But no, it's 20 minutes, so it's just a long thing. I don't really know what we were talking about with that. Just kind of an interesting thing. Oh.
Well, because I haven't seen it yet, and I that was the first time I've heard about it.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to see a conclusion to,
you'll see it tonight. Hopefully it should be up tonight. But another thing with that is, it's Thought Cluster with Griffin and Luke. My name's actually Griffin, and funny thing is, they replied to me, and they're like, hey, Griff, and they said that, and it pissed me off. I was like pacing around for 20 minutes. I'm like, fuck these guys. They think we're on a first name basis like that? First name little thing? And I'm like, fuck. Because if you guys don't know, my Instagram account as well as YouTube and any other presence that I have, it's all Grif Deck. So they just assume my name's Grif.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I'm the asshole.
Does it say it on your Instagram that you are...
It might say Griffin Deckard underneath. Like as like the subtitle. I don't know. He's checking.
No, it just says Grif Deck. So it makes sense that they would call you Grif.
But I got so mad. I was like typing it out. I'm like, oh, fuck. And I deleted it all. I'm like, wait, okay. I'm such a shit. God damn it.
Well, I mean, it kind of pisses me off, too, because when, like, people call me Bud and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, you talked about this in one of your videos, but, like, it just, like you said, it's demeaning, and it just puts you down a little more.
Degrading?
Well...
Is demeaning a word?
Yeah. You used it in the video.
Demeaning?
Yeah. vocabulary with Griffin.
Is that really a word, demeaning?
Yeah, I think so. Hold on, okay. All right.
I feel like it's not. I thought degrading. I think I said degrading. Which degrading is a tough word. Degrading is like the word cunt. It's very sharp. Demeaning.
Demeaning.
That sounds like lacking meaning.
Causing someone to lose their dignity and their respect of others.
So demeaning is a word.
So bud, being called bud, if you don't like being called bud because it's disrespectful, you could say, don't call me that, please. It's demeaning, you know?
I've just never heard demeaning.
Short way from saying
Did I use it in the
it's
video?
disrespectful, yeah.
Fuck.
Go back and check it out.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I had kind of a weird thing with bud. Because, like, okay, a YouTuber that we both watch and we've, like, grown up watching, we're not old. But
all of our 18 years.
There's another thing. I hate it when people do that. Like in school. Because like in school, I was very aware that like I didn't know shit and that I was just a dumb kid, right? Because we all are. But people would always be like, yeah, I used to watch iCarly, but that was back when I was a kid. I'm like, we are still kids. We're all still fucking stupid as shit.
We're just a tiny bit older. Like,
yeah.
I also saw a thing where your frontal lobe isn't fully developed until 25.
Yeah, I think we talked about it on the last podcast.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. It's like, yeah, you don't know everything. And that's like a teenager kind of thing to say.
Well, that's just for guys, though.
Right.
Because girls are apparently better.
Well,
fun fact.
I don't know. We also talked about this in the last podcast of men and women.
God, I'm so sorry.
No, but yeah, but
I won't do that anymore.
No, yeah, like I feel like teenagers just feel like they know everything. You know what I mean? So
I do. So
it's just
no,
wait a minute. But yeah.
But back to my point of the YouTuber. A YouTuber that we both watch, Meatwagon22.
Oh, yeah.
We love him. And he's a small YouTuber. I mean, he's got like 600K on his own. And then he has a channel with his friend, which is, I think it's approaching 3 million.
Guns?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Guns and Meat. You always win, yeah. But he always says like when if they're playing zombies or whatever, he'll be like, hey, bud, or something like that. He says bud, and it's okay when he says it. Like, I think if I called you bud, it's the way you say it. That's what it is.
See, that's what I said. I was like discussing this with my mom. But
Ew, you talk to your mom? What are you, fucking gay?
Well, because I kept telling her, I was like, Mom, like, I hate it when people call me bud, because, okay, so I have 2 cousins that call me bud, and I'm not a huge fan of being called bud.
Yeah.
But
you fun fact.
I don't get on to them about it. And, I don't say anything, but it just doesn't feel good. But they're my peers.
Yeah.
They're the same age as me. Yeah.
Oh,
actually,
so you don't like
they're both younger.
an adult says it to you?
No, I like it when an adult says it to me.
Do you like that?
Well, wait a minute.
Turns me on.
No, I'm fine with it when an adult says it to me. I was talking to my mom about this. I was like, well, when my peers say it to me, somebody younger than me, somebody the same age as me, like saying it, like going up to somebody that is your age saying, hey, bud,
yeah.
It's just disrespectful and demeaning. But when like an uncle says it to you, or like a father figure or somebody that's older than you says, hey, bud, what's up? You know?
I mean, but they're
or like,
friends.
hey, little man, like that's normal.
Yeah.
And like, especially for like somebody that's older than you.
Yeah. I mean, it's demeaning in a way, but like, I mean, generally, I don't care if you call me that, and I know you feel the same way too.
Yeah.
Fun fact about us, welcome back. No, we're very not offended people.
No,
if that's a way to put it. Like, we don't really get offended by things. But I do agree, like, it's annoying. It's kind of like, okay, you're that kind of person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You can tell a lot about a person when they call you bud.
Yeah.
Or a certain like word,
Yeah. I mean, our friend Adrian, he says it a lot. But I think it's the way you say it. And I think just in our situation, me arguing with this account, and I didn't know that it was a girl, which honestly wouldn't matter either way. Because I respect women, okay? No.
Respect women.
But I don't know her age, and I don't know who she is or whatever. So in the situation of, like, I felt like she was trying to alpha up on me. And I was like, oh, nuh-uh. God, that was... I wish I was a thug. Yeah, I do, but I'm not.
Like Adrian, he says it in like a joking manner.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
It's like, hey, bud.
But like...
I think it's context.
Right. Yeah, and also something that you shouldn't do, which is what has happened to me, and part of it why it pisses me off when people do it, is they text it to me. They'll say, hey, bud.
Yeah.
I'm like, you like, just say it in person. Just say, hey.
So it like generally bothers you.
Or something. Like, yeah, like it.
Oh, shit.
Not like to the point where I want to like do something about it, but like, I don't know. It just kind of gets on my nerve. No, but it just kind of gets on my nerve just a tiny bit. But
it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
It's subtle.
Like when we're talking about like how you can tell a lot about a person when they call you something, like I figured out that when like you're talking to like a girl, you know, and they call you like dude or something like that, that relationship or friendship goes completely in the opposite direction.
That's true.
If you were thinking about it going in a different one, you know what I mean? Like
but then again,
just met her.
Then again, I've dated girls where they say dude. But then again, they were more like kind of bro-y. You know what I'm saying? They weren't very girly.
They were closer to you. I've had girls call me dude, like when I first.
I've had girls call me daddy, but that's not. No.
I mean, that's not demeaning at all.
I thought you were gonna take it in that way. I thought you were gonna be like, no. I've had girls call me big dick lasagna, but
that's actually that brings up another point.
Switch on my gamer tag.
I don't know if you remember Austin.
Post Malone.
No, I wish.
Yeah.
No, nice. But
get him on
from
the pod.
JL.
Hashtag get Post Malone on the pod.
That'd be awesome. But no, Austin from JL.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny. Me, Zach, and Austin were sitting in the camper today, and we were watching like TV.
Wait, he's back?
Austin?
Yeah. He's
been there. So what happened was he was a 2-hour person.
Oh, okay.
And then he switched to a 3-hour person.
He's kind of the douchey guy.
Yeah, he was a douche, and then I got to know him, and he's actually pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Me and him have never seen eye to eye.
Yeah, we well, no, not that Austin. The darker Austin.
Black Austin?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, the guy with, like, he's kind of got the high and tight?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He's a cool dude.
No, the other Austin, I'd punch his lights out if I could. Yeah, there's two different Austins.
This Austin I do like, because while we were, I'll let you get back to your point, but while we were cutting, we had to cut carpet for the RV or whatever, he kept, like, intervening, because I would be, like, I was, like, aggressively cutting the carpet with a X-Acto knife. What is that called? It's
like a box cutter.
Box cutter. And I was like aggressively cutting. He's like, "Man, you better chill your ass down. You don't cut yourself."
Yeah,
that a racist accent?
He's really cool. No, I mean that's how he talks.
We won't talk about it.
But me and him and Zach were sitting in the camper today, and we were watching American Gladiator from like the '90s.
Yeah,
because it's local television, so everything's old.
Singing on radio.
We were sitting there, and they were talking, or Austin brought up the point, like, "Hey, are you talking to anybody right now?" And I was like, "No, not really." And then he asked Zach, and he was like, "No, Zach." I answered for Zach, and I was like, "Zach doesn't really care about like, that
wife.
kind of stuff." Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. I'm already married. And then me and Zach both like looked at each other and were like, "Austin, do you talk to anybody?" And Austin goes, "I used to talk to a girl, but I'm not into that kind of shit." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that seems kind of fair." And then he goes, "Are y'all virgins?" Just whips that question out of there, and we were like, obviously, like you tell me, like, am I a virgin or not? And then we
as you're playing with your Spider-Man action figure, obviously it's like, you know, like you get those crusty toys.
Yeah. But
that's what we should have called this.
We asked him.
Should have called the show Thought Crusty.
But no,
Thought Cruster. Thought Cruster. We should change the thought to actually like Twitch thought and then Cruster. Thought Cruster.
We could do like a spin-off.
Crusty Thoughts.
So listen, I found this bitch the other day, and she's a real crusty thought.
No. Yeah, fun fact. But I'm going to steal your water.
All right, go for it.
Because I ran out.
Yeah.
So.
No, we asked Austin. We're like, Austin gets all the bitches. Like,
because he's black man. He's
right,
nice
exactly.
This is going to be loud.
God, it's like spilling out.
And we're back.
But hell yeah.
Great.
We asked him. We were like, "Hey, are you a virgin?" And he responded with, he hesitated for a minute. We thought he was gonna say yes, and then, or no, we thought he was gonna say no, because in the hallways and all that kind of shit, there's like girls walking by. They're like, "Oh, Austin, oh," like that literally happened too. And I was so confused. I was like, "What?" And then he was like, "Yeah," or "No, I'm not a virgin," or "No." God, I can't speak. "Yes, I'm a virgin." And we were like, "What? Like, how is this dude that gets all these ladies still be a virgin?" He was like, "Honestly, if they're not giving me the pussy, I don't want them." And I was like, "Jeez." But yeah, Austin apparently is a virgin still, so there's still hope.
That's something that I would. Yeah, and he's a very nice black man, so But no, I thought we could do that. And I wanted to do this on my channel, just make a video of like first times. Because I'm doing this series called, Makeup? Where I just kind of go back and do old YouTube trends.
Oh, I thought you were about to be like, oh, I do makeup tutorials.
I do. That's my second channel. But no, I've only got one episode up, but like it's a show called Makeup, and I just go back through trends. Like this one, I did the test for YouTube girlfriend or whatever. Forgot my point. But no, do it for an episode of that. We're like, because you know how that was a trend for a little bit, doing first times. Right, where you can go back and like do like first kiss and then first time.
Yeah, sexy sex
coitus. Off. Right. Yeah.
Well, I can't answer that.
Moving on. I got some topics.
You got any juicies?
So one thing, I know you don't watch this, but I have to talk about it somewhat. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but Punisher Season 2 came out.
I've been meaning to watch it.
Have you seen the first season?
Mm-mm.
Fuck, dude, it's so good.
I'm going to start it, soon.
It's good. You need to start it tonight, dude. Binge it this weekend. I love this show so much. I love the main actor, Frank Castle, but the actual actor is John Bernthal. John Bernthal!
Hey guys, it's your buddy John Bernthal.
Shane from The Walking Dead. No, this season's really fucking good. And I love it because it's so brutal. It's like really fucked up.
Now, let me ask you this. Does Netflix release the season as a full season, or do they upload each episode?
They just throw it on there. Okay. But this season, so I started like, I'm gonna burp. I started at like, because it came out and like I didn't watch for the first week because I was just busy with stuff. Porn mostly. No,
yeah, right.
But I started watching it at like 6 o'clock p.m. that night or whatever, and then I stopped watching it like 8 a.m. or something like that. Like I watched every episode through the night. I just fucking binged it. And it's good. It's fucking great. It's such a good show. But so I told Luke this earlier before we started the pod. But so me and my dad is working from home right now. And I'm just in my room, working on videos or whatever. So we're in opposite sides of the house, and the dog doesn't really know where to go. And she runs back and forth.
I can hear her.
And yeah, you can hear her now. She's like pacing around. But she also gets triggered by like noises or whatever. So if I shout and I'm editing a video and I yell like fuck or I'm filming or something like that, she'll take it as, oh fuck, he's mad. And then she'll like run away or like get scared or whatever. So my dad's in there and he's watching The Punisher, and you'll like hear something happen. My dad will go, oh, or like I'll hear him all the way down there, and Becca will start freaking out, and so she'll come to my door and just claw it down to get in. But it's funny hearing him because like I'll be in here silently editing, and then all of a sudden I'll hear oh, or like he'll start laughing, or I don't know. It's just funny.
Like I've watched how like Netflix has like those previews that are like up on the homepage when you open up Netflix. Well, I've been watching Star Wars. Anyways, but the Clone Wars.
They have Solo on there.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it, and I saw it in the theater.
You're a Star Wars nerd, so
yeah,
I'm not.
And then I saw that up there. I saw the season 2 that had already come out.
Oh wait, isn't that a cartoon?
The
Clone Wars?
Clone Wars, yeah.
What are you, fucking gay?
It's actually really interesting, and the animation is really nice.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd. But
I love anime. I love anime and manga.
But I watched the preview thing that was up on the front, and there was like, I kind of expected it to be a little violent, but I didn't expect like John Berthal literally taking this dude's head and smashing it into the edge of a ceramic like sink.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good scene though.
Like that is insane, and you can like see the blood spatter.
It's
and all
worse than that.
Yeah.
Watch season 1 and season 2, and plus you kind of have an advantage though because you can just binge everything.
Right.
Dude, I wish it's one of those things. I love the show so much that I wish I could. Now it's not the perfect show by any means. Like there's a lot of like
that's already been made.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit like it. Yeah, but it's one of those shows where you're like, fuck yeah, like you want to experience that moment again. You wish you could get like knocked out and forget it and then rewatch it. It's like a favorite song of yours. You wish you could like listen to it again for the first time.
That's like definitely how The Walking Dead is.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
I wish I could restart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go back to like season 1 where like everything started.
I love shit like that.
So good.
Fun fact, that's actually like drug addiction. Because like when you take a drug for the first time or whatever, not like weed or anything, like that's not gonna do much for you unless you're a fucking pussy. But like doing drugs, whatever, like even like addiction, that first little hit that you get of it, it releases like an extra amount of dopamine in your brain because it's a first experience, and that's where addiction comes from. Because the more and more that you try and like get that same initial feel, you can't. Yeah, because that's just not how it works. I could be totally wrong on that, but I saw it was like ASAP Science or whatever. They made a video on was it Jake Paul who made the addiction video? Or no, the gambling video. And how he's like selling addiction to kids or whatever.
Don't remember that.
Oh, you didn't hear about that? That was like a huge thing. Him and Rice Gum, they both
When
did
was
it.
that? Was that a while ago? That seems like 2016 kind of stuff.
No. This was like less than a month ago.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Well, do you know about what is it? It's like mystery box. It's like mystery brand, something like that. And basically you can give prize.
Yeah.
Okay, so
mail.
you do know.
Right,
yeah.
right.
But you basically open the boxes or whatever, and it could be prices from a couple dollars to several $1 million. Obviously, it's a scam.
Right.
But they played it off like they were winning a bunch of things, basically supporting gambling to kids. And ASAP Science made a thing about it and talking about addiction. And I watched it like a couple hours ago. It was good. Good
like,
video.
Especially back to Netflix here. I opened up Netflix again the other day, and it had a murder documentary up.
Fuck, I need to
for
watch
those. Or like for the little ad thing.
Yeah.
And it was showing like the trailer for it or whatever, and it was this guy, and what he would do is he would lure these girls in with obviously his good looks and attractiveness or whatever, and he'd have sex with them and then he'd kill them.
Because that's like Jeffrey Dahmer. He would lure gay guys in and then you
eat
kill them. Eat them, yeah.
And
kill them, eat them.
this guy, and they talked about addiction, like in the trailer, which was really enticing as well because this guy was addicted to it.
Yeah.
And they said
that's a weird thing.
The first time he did it, he was fulfilled, and then it slowly dissipated.
Yeah.
And so he went to do it again, and when he did it again, he wasn't fulfilled, and so he was like, "Oh, I need to do it one more time." And they did it again. He killed another girl. He wasn't fulfilled. He went and he killed another girl and another and another.
Yeah.
This guy escaped from prison like 3 times.
Fuck.
Yeah. This guy was
Dude,
on
if you escape
the
from
loose.
prison 3 times, just let him go.
Honestly, just take
That's
him.
impressive as fuck.
Mm-hmm. And he was in like Arizona, and like
oh yeah, and they don't give a fuck.
and
down
like
there.
yeah, like Arizona where like they have the prisons out there where it's like literally anything but desert or everything, but like civilization.
Yeah.
They have like prisons out there in the desert.
Even going to recently, I went to. Do you have more to say on that?
No, that was basically it.
Okay, good. No. Okay. When I went to New Mexico recently because my uncle lives out there, and we went to Albuquerque. Some of you guys probably know that. I know it because I was there. But we were there, and I would go out in the desert, and I would maybe hike for like a mile or something like that. And once you're out there, you can't see shit. Like there's nothing around, and
right, and you think you would be able to because it's all flat.
Yeah, but there's fucking nothing. Once you go over a hill, you're out there. Like there's fucking nothing out there. Especially being out there at night, it's quiet as fuck. Fun fact about Albuquerque: apparently a meteor hit, like in that area. It was like I think it was no, it wasn't a meteor. It was like a nuclear warhead. They dropped it, and it was like, I think it did go off, but not to the extent of like devastation. But I think it was. I could be getting this wrong. But I watched a video like top 10 like nuclear fails or something like that. Top 10. But this plane flew overhead and they were transporting it and they dropped it and it was said to have the power of, the Hiroshima bomb.
Yeah.
It was said to have the power of that, yet times 250. So it would have decimated fucking all of New Mexico.
Right.
Had it gone off. But apparently it didn't go off or something like that. But it still created a crater of like 30 feet or something like that. I don't remember. Obviously I didn't see it because I would have definitely put it in the video.
Right.
But it pissed me off that I didn't know about it because I probably could have asked my uncle. He probably would have known about it. I should text him. But I thought it was interesting. That shit's scary.
Even if you did find it, I wonder.
They may not let you go there.
Well, that and they probably would have already confiscated it. Duh.
No, I just meant
warhead.
like the crater.
Oh well, yeah. And also another thing, if it did explode, that actually probably could have been a thing.
Do you think?
Because they filled it.
I think it's an attraction though.
It might be. Depending on the size of the crater, yeah, it might be an attraction.
It wasn't radioactive.
Okay,
like,
that's
there was
what I was
no
gonna say.
radioactive
I was gonna say it would
like
be really cool if you could take like a Geiger counter there and see and hear it tick.
I think its core was taken out or something like that. Like so, it didn't do as much damage. I could be getting this wrong. I'm pretty sure that's right.
Maybe if it was an atomic bomb, then they probably didn't have the pins in it.
Yeah.
When they were transporting it, and it only made a crater of whatever it did when it had the explosives inside of it. Yeah. But I don't know what it
exploded
would be if it was
to
just
some
a
extent
nuke.
though. I think, or maybe it exploded in its entirety or something like that. I don't know.
I think nuclear warheads still have explosives in them, just it's
It's like an explosion along with the nuclear shit.
Yeah, exactly.
To initiate
with the
it,
split
probably?
of the atom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And depending on how many explosives you put into a warhead is what the atom can work with. You know what I mean? To make the explosion bigger. That's why, like, Russia. Have you seen the kinds of bombs they're doing?
No.
Like, Russia's got some insane bombs, dude. It's nuts.
That's the new bomb, I-bomb.
I-bomb by Apple.
It is insane.
Manufactured in California.
That
would be that.
We make bombs. We ship them to Russia. I love it.
Dude, Russians are crazy as shit. We could make 18 episodes based on Russians.
Honestly, dude.
You know what my favorite video of Russians is? It's
I think I know.
Okay, well, let's see. It's a video of like 6 soldiers trying to get a cat out of a tree.
Oh, yeah. You've told me about this.
And they're like it's on YouTube. You guys can search it up. They're like throwing shit at it, trying to get it out. It's these 6 like soldiers of Russia or whatever, and they're trying to get this fucking cat out of the tree. Which, fun fact,
shit out.
cats, if they get in a tree, they're not stuck. Right. Cats can get out.
They know how to get down.
That's not a thing, okay? Maybe if they get too high, they get scared. They'll come down eventually, one way or the other. They may go splat, but it's okay. It's a cat. Sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
they're gonna land on all fours, anyways.
Yeah, they're still gonna. Yeah, their paws are gonna go into their stomach. Just. But it's these 6 Russian soldiers trying to get this cat out of a tree, and they eventually cut the tree down. The cat is fine.
What the hell?
But they cut it down, and it lands on a power line, and it fucking explodes in flames. It's the most beautiful fucking video.
God.
And I clicked on it not knowing. I forget what I searched. I think I was probably like looking at like army stuff, because I was really interested in going into the military for a while. And I searched it up, and that just happened to pop up, because it has like 8 million views. Like, it's such a popular video. Yeah. But I thought, oh my God, it's the funniest fucking shit. You guys gotta watch it after this.
I thought you were gonna say the crazy Russian hacker YouTube poop.
Oh no, God, that dude.
the YouTube poops of that guy is pure YouTube.
Just watch his videos, Jesus.
Yeah,
he's
just
just a
even
weird
need the
dude.
YouTube poop.
He's just generally a weird dude. Your brain will be dying. Yeah. So that's Russians.
I mean, I have a topic, but it's not. It's like a quick topic though.
Yeah, we're gonna skip that.
Wait.
I'm kidding.
Go ahead. But it's okay. So the other day, you used to ride the bus, obviously.
Yeah, back in my 20s.
But Zach and I were riding the bus, and the bus driver went a different way. He went on like this back way.
He
like
usually
around
has 2 ways, though, doesn't he?
No, he has a way for taking the kids back to options, and then he has just a normal way.
Okay.
But he took a really different way this time, and he went on a bunch of these roundabouts, and he would fly through them. And I kid you not, I was looking over at Zach, and Zach obviously was sleeping like with his arm up.
Yeah.
And Zach was like, just flying all over the place. And I was completely worried about like where we were going, because I had no idea where we were. I've never seen this road before. It had like. Literally, I kid you not, it had 6 roundabouts in it. And it was just a straight road. Like, we could have done it.
You had to have been in Carmel.
No, I was to the right of Noblesville. It was like, so you know where like all the car lots are? Mm-hmm. And then there's like Best Buy and then like the animal place. It's behind that.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then you know where like the Home Depot is over there? Mm-hmm. And like the Speedway? If you go down that road, that's where it is.
Okay.
And it's all new. Like all these roundabouts are new.
The thing about Indiana though is the way that Indiana fixes traffic is they just fucking put a roundabout there.
Like, the stoplight doesn't work, roundabout. But yeah,
dead end, roundabout.
We went a different way, and the way that we normally come into town is the way I go out of town, like the way I go back home. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, he probably just went a different way for the roundabouts, because there's kids in the back, and they were like screaming. They were like, oh yeah, this is so fun. So he probably went that way for the roundabouts. Exactly.
Absolute alpha.
And so
it's like pull his socks up to his groin.
I
like to pull my sock all the way up to about mid thigh, and then I tuck my dick in that sock.
God.
But hey, that's just how I do it, man.
You gotta have a pretty long softie.
Who said I was soft?
Damn, that hurt. But we were going, and I went home the way that we didn't go, because I thought, we should probably go in that way for fun. Here. And all the stoplights were out. So it was,
Oh, really?
and these were major stoplights, like on a highway.
Mm-hmm.
So 55 to just like turning. And it was a 4-way stop. And there were people turning, there were turn lanes and all that kind of shit. And it was definitely not meant to be a 4-way stop. And so everybody, it was just complete chaos. And it was like backed up so far. And this happened to me a couple times, but I did like this crazy ass move where I went from the left lane, and instead of turning left and getting into like the very left lane to turn left, I did like this weird ass thing. I timed it perfectly. I got from the left lane and I like yeeted over into the right and then went all the way into the right turn lane, and I turned right and I got out of that mess. But and
like
I
the scene from
completely
Cars.
avoided it.
It's like the scene from Cars, like the movie when he's like driving through all the wreck.
Oh. But I like
Holy shit.
I felt like such a badass and like so smart for getting out of like a traffic jam like that.
Yeah.
And
Everyone else thought you were an asshole.
Exactly,
for sure.
exactly. I thought about it for a minute and I was like, well, why didn't everybody else do what I did? And then I was
sirens pop up behind you. Oh,
because
fuck.
there was like 3 or 4 people that did the same thing that I did, but not everybody else did.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew the only major road that's past that is 146, and that's the road that I was going to get on.
Yeah.
So the majority of the people that were going that way were going to 146. So I don't know why they didn't do it, but I felt like they
Do you know why?
Why?
I can tell you from the other end. Because I'm not one of those people that's just going to do that. Because I never, even if I'm late, I can't be bothered. I will not be bothered to like change lanes and like maneuver like Jason Bourne type shit.
I wasn't bothered by that. Like I wouldn't be bothered to.
There's literally
a war going
assholes
on
being opened outside my door. That's all my family. Okay, we recorded the first episode like at 7, probably around 8 actually.
Yeah.
After setting it up, this one's what time is it? It's like 4:12.
Yeah. So
everybody's
house is a little more active.
Yeah, everybody's here.
But no, I just kind of it was like I can't be bothered by sitting and going and like moving like a snail through traffic.
Yeah.
But
I can.
Just the fact that I mean, like being smarter than everybody else by going to a different area and then going and then passing the traffic was just kind of like.
I get what you're feeling.
It's like one of those dopamine hits. You know what I mean? Because you're like proud of yourself for getting out of it. But then you're like, well, maybe there's a reason why everybody else didn't do what I did.
It's like
you
the
know
doubt.
I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Because, like, what is it? I'm trying to think of, like, a good, like, analogy to that.
Also, I feel like one of the major things in life is dopamine seeking.
Yeah.
Like, everybody seeks dopamine.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like, okay, this is probably, like, exaggerating it, but, like, our ancestors, like, fucking hunted tigers and shit like that. And, like, we just go to work and come home. Like, our greatest... Because it's weird to me, like, my mom will come home or whatever, and she'll, like, talk to my dad, and she'll be like, yeah, this guy, like, cut me off or whatever. And that's, like, their highlight of the day. Like, oh, that's so crazy. But for me, I'm always thinking, like, that's such a, like, that's, like, the most normal thing that could happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I go out in the woods, like, I went out in the woods. Sorry, I'm, like, kind of going off here. But I went out in the woods yesterday because I'm, like, getting shots or whatever, just taking shots, feeling bulletproof, you know. What song is that from? Taking shots from... I don't know, it's from something with, like...
Titanium by...
No, that's not it.
Rihanna.
No. It's like a rap song.
Oh.
It's like... Yeah, it's like, I'm a thug, so...
Well, it's the same lyric from her song, whatever. But, sorry, continue.
But I get... Did you touch the table?
Yeah.
No, okay.
On accident.
I'm kidding. I get out in the woods, take some shots or whatever. Because, I don't know, I was doing like an advertisement thing or whatever. I get out there and stuff like that, and I'm walking around, and this is the woods that usually, like, we grow up going in or whatever. But in this part, it's, like, always, like, overgrown, so we never really go there. So I, like, kind of went there because, you know, it's winter, so everything's kind of died down a bit, and there aren't as many leaves, and a lot of plants were dead, and there was snow and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go through here. And I kept noticing that I was, like, somewhat following this track of, like, coyotes or whatever. It was, like, it had been printed in the snow, and it looked the same as my prints. Obviously, it's different shape, but as far as, like, the indentation, it didn't look like it happened too long ago. Now, obviously, I'm not a tracker. I don't fucking know how this shit works, but I was like, this, like, seems, like, really weird. And I was, like, subconsciously following it. And then I get to an area where I keep hearing shit. I kept hearing, like the snow, like the sound it makes when you step on snow. Right. Same as mine, only, like, lighter. Obviously, because it was further away. But I kept hearing it, and then eventually I, like, stop in this clearing, and I'm just, like, sitting there with... I'm sitting like this with my phone, just like holding it against my chest, just like fucking listening. And then I hear it again, and there's, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it was a coyote circling me because I could hear it all the way from my left, and then it got more audible on my left. Fuck, I could hear it my right. I could hear it in my right ear, and then it like slowly circulated around to my left ear, to where it was like right in front of me, and I could see it fucking like moving, like there was like discoloring or whatever, and like I could see it move between the trees. I couldn't get a clear like view of it or whatever, but I think because we never go there, I think that's where like somewhere around there is
territory.
And now obviously I think it was a bit further back from where I was because I think they would have tried to attack if. I was too close, but I think I got close enough to where it was like, okay, dude, back up. So I just went home.
The thing is like if it was just one coyote, I feel like they would just be, like he was probably just hesitant. Like he's more scared of you than you are of it.
Right.
Which means I don't.
Which
feel
is
like
usually the case, but if you're on their territory, especially if it's a mother protecting her babies, like they're gonna fuck you up. I just think that it was kind of like he was just checking me out. I think that's all it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the whole thing. Like that was a hit of dopamine. That was like intense. That was like a real situation. That doesn't happen often.
Right.
Now, granted, it wasn't like a huge amount of danger, but like it's somewhat sad to me, and I think that's why military
like going out and like seeing a coyote.
Like that was like holy shit! Whoa, that was fucking crazy.
Right.
Or like just being cut off, or like I don't know, less like just like weird, stupid like situations.
Or like being able to talk to somebody that you haven't talked to in a long time, or somebody that you haven't talked to at all.
Yeah.
That you've always wanted to, and that's like your hey, guess what? I talked to this person today. Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Nice. Like that's like
I'm like
that,
burping shit up.
Because like in history right now, I'm learning about World War II, and we're watching like Saving Private Ryan, and like the first scene where they're on Omaha Beach is like my favorite. I love that, and the reason why is
my
because
dog's at the door.
She's anxious. But
Anxious.
Anxious.
Angus, get in here.
The reason why I like that scene so much is because it's like they did it. Like that was them. Like that was a real thing. It's not fiction. Like and the fact that they had the courage to do that.
That's why we watch The Punisher, because it's like crazy shit. You're like, I would never do that shit.
But like the thing is that it's real.
Yeah.
Like Omaha Beach.
But I'm just saying, like, as far as entertainment.
Right.
Like, it's like, whoa, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like you were saying, where, like, our ancestors used to go out and, like, hunt tigers and, like, shit
Probably
like that.
not, but you
right.
know what I mean?
Probably not tigers. But, like,
Used to
the
hunt
fact
dinosaurs.
that they got enough courage to, pull the arrow back on the bow and aim at a bear or
where
something
most
like
people
that.
today are fucking scared of their kids.
They're fucking kids.
Or their
Oh, God, I gave birth to you. Don't come close.
Or their Chihuahua Phil. And imagine naming your Chihuahua Phil.
That'd be awful.
Phil
Come
the
here,
Chihuahua.
You'd be known as the worst people in the neighborhood.
Yes, my Chihuahua Phil.
But I feel like the world or people today lack the courage and like bravery to do things like that. You know what I mean? Because like knowing the risk of like, oh, I could get mauled by this bear if I don't hit the shot right, or
Like
that's kind of like what
that.
hunting is, but to a lesser extent because you have a gun.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
and like on a daily basis, we're not exposed to like crazy ass situations.
Right.
That's why I love hearing about like people with like good stories where like, yeah, I fucking fell off this cliff on my dick, and like it was crazy. Like just like kind of going off what you were saying with Private Ryan, the movie Lone Survivor. Have you seen that?
I've seen it.
That's a real situation. All of his buddies died, and he made it out alive. Like that's crazy cool to me. Just be crazy cool, crazy cool science with Griffin. But that's cool to me because like that happened. Like that's some shit that he has. You know what I'm saying? No one else has done that before.
And that's like insane
similar,
to the fact that, that technically that could happen to us.
Yeah.
If we were to follow in his foot.
Jesus Christ.
If we were to follow in his footsteps, become like go to like the Marine Corps or something like that, and prove ourselves worthy of being like a sniper, or whatever. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But like that could happen to us, and we've had like to a small extent, like obviously at like the quarry and all that kind of shit, like where we're getting like chased. And stuff. That's another story.
Yeah, it's just being dumb kids though.
But like still, that was like a dopamine hit for us.
Yeah, like that's something that we have.
Crazy.
I think we should dedicate another episode of that, like talking about our quarry stories.
Quarry stories.
But there's a lot of like stuff that we like did, and that's not the best. I don't even know if we should talk about that quite yet.
Well, I mean,
legal attachment.
It's not like the cops are gonna watch this.
FBI open. You know who's gonna watch this? You and me.
Yeah, that's
Once. Well, I'm gonna watch it a couple times while I'm editing it, and then you're gonna watch it probably once and get bored about 10 minutes in. So yeah, it's weird. It's fucking weird.
Yeah. Then people seek dopamine like no matter how they can get it, you know.
Yeah.
And also like I heard on the radio the other day about like aha moments.
Aha.
And it was like I didn't relate to the aha part of it at all. But like I know what they were trying to get at, but they were talking about like how somebody can look up at like the sky and see like a rainbow and get a dopamine hit, or somebody can look at a piece of art and get a dopamine hit, or somebody that listens to a music and get chills can have a dopamine hit. And the one that I can relate to the most is music, and I'm sure you can too. But like that is like crazy weird that a chemical that is released in your brain on your own in your body has to be sought out due to other things that are outside of your control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a chemical that is released in your brain to stimulate your senses is seeked after due to events that occur outside of your brain.
I think it comes down to humans are fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like if you really
weird.
think about that. No, this is kind of going off what you were saying. I was making a pot of coffee earlier, and I was filling up the pot or whatever, like dump into the thing, and I was filling it up, and obviously it's empty, and then while you're filling it, it fills up with water, and I could feel like slowly. I was like, it was early in the morning. It was like probably 6 a.m. or something like that. So it was early in the morning, and I wasn't like fully awake yet, and I could like slowly feel like different muscles in my arms slowly like tense,
right,
like as it was filling. And like I don't know, I just thought like how weird like this is like all basic shit, but like just how weirdly complicated
like
we all are.
Like our nerves.
Yeah,
and like
just
our muscles.
how you don't think about that.
One thing that I recommend doing is if you ever have a recliner chair.
You recommend it? I'm gonna write you prescription.
It stimulates your nerves,
mm-hmm.
like on your arms and your legs. But if you're ever in a recliner chair and you have a point where you can like keep your arms still and like move the chair up and down.
Yeah.
If you keep your legs and arms still and let the chair move underneath your legs, it like rubs up against everything and it feels like your legs are moving, but they're not. And it's the weirdest feeling ever. And I think it releases dopamine. I can't tell.
Wait, is it like you're just resting them on the chair and you're letting it carry them?
Right. But it doesn't, but your legs aren't moving. But
yeah.
It feels like they are. You know what I mean? Mm. It's weird. Super weird.
Well, that's the same thing. Like what I'll do is like you keep your hands still or whatever, and you like don't close it or anything like that. It's just open. You open it a little bit, and then you just kind of like move your fingers.
Right, and you can like feel the muscles.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of a weird thing. I could just really feel it this morning. It was just odd. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah,
that's weird because I wanted to like mention that on the podcast, and that's like cool that you had a perfect segue. We're like getting way too into this.
Mm-hmm. So from being smart with driving to how weird the human body is.
Hi, welcome to Thought Cluster. We go from fucking traffic to anatomy. Welcome. So last episode was how long were we at?
43.
40. Really? Where do you see that? You think I should know? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we got time. But anyway. Jesus.
Well, we just lost like 30 seconds because you're gonna have to edit all that out.
But no. So last episode was a bit heavier than I thought we were gonna go.
I agree.
And I tried to keep it borderline a little bit lighter or whatever. Just have like, I think we were trying to script it too much, honestly. Like it wasn't scripted, but I think we were trying to go off our notes too much. Like this one, we've had several different conversations and none of these have been written down.
Right.
Very few. But the last one was very like heavy and like political and stuff like that. Knowing that, currently in America, we're trying to build a wall, right?
Right.
I'm going to keep this light. No. But Trump's trying to build a wall or whatever. And everybody's like arguing like, no, we shouldn't build the wall. We shouldn't build the wall, but other people want us to build the wall. You know what I'm saying? So me being I don't know if you guys know this. I'm the smartest person on the planet.
Right.
I have an IQ of a lot. Okay. I'm talking
a lot of IQ.
A lot of IQ. But I thought of some wall possibilities, and these are pretty good. One is pretty obvious, a floating wall. Okay? They could still get in,
right,
but there's a wall.
Exactly.
Fun fact. Okay. The next one This one might be a little blurry to the eye, but ostriches, okay? We just line the border with ostriches. Maybe put up a little fence that they can't get out.
Okay.
So you could, theoretically, you could get through pretty easily if you just run straight through, like an open little area. But here's the thing. Who the fuck is going to go up to an ostrich? You know what I'm saying? Ostriches are fucking creepy. They will peck your dick off, okay? They will tear out your heart. They're fucking scary. You line the border with ostriches, there's still a chance they can get through. 100%.
What if? Hold on, let me give you some input here. Okay. What if we line it with not only ostriches, but with an ostrich and kangaroo mix?
I feel like they would fight, would they?
Probably not. They probably make friends. Probably lay an egg. You cook it up.
Kangaroos are fucking creepy as shit.
Yeah, and they've got like muscles.
Yeah, they're like actually like a jacked human.
Right.
It's fucking weird.
And they could punch your lights out.
Yeah, they just kick
They
you.
get pecked and get your lights punched out.
Damn, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
We might have to keep them in different sections. I don't know if they'll fight each other.
Yeah. No, do like a...
We'll have that thing at Disneyland where we like build things into the environment. Have you seen that?
I think so.
I don't fuck with Disney.
Something like that at... It's a broad statement.
I don't fuck with Disney, but they made this like park or whatever where they have lions on display as well as zebras or something like that in the same pen, but they're like separated by a river, but it looks all natural.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they have like speakers in the rocks or whatever and like little food pallets for them to eat. And then on the lions like rocks or whatever, they have like vents to keep them cool or hot during different seasons or whatever. So it keeps them on display. It's like really smart and well thought out. We do something like that on the border.
That's actually
everybody's happy. Yeah. I should be running this country. I don't know why I'm not.
Be president, no political views. Just
someone's going to watch this video who's either like
run the country
for the wall or against the wall, and they're going to be like, well, wait. You know what?
He kind of has a point,
Tammy, get in here. He's got something.
Listen to this guy.
Get him on the phone.
No, I agree.
But yeah, so that's where I'm at. I was watching like Crowder's thing where he like goes and pisses people off
by going to the college campus.
I love those. Like I usually most of the time I agree with Crowder, but other times I don't. But I just love hearing like people get pissed off. Yeah, it's like watching American Idol.
And then they're trying to they're struggling or like to hold their breath and like come up with an argument.
But it confuses me because why would you publicly argue with someone like? Don't get me wrong, I have my opinions here and there, or whatever, but I don't give a shit enough to look it up because I really don't care. If you want to think that way, that's fine. I'm not going to try and change your mind or anything like that. But why would you sit down if your shit is not tight? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And there was one guy...
now, there are some people that sit down and they're like, oh shit. Like, I start to side with them because they make a really good point.
Right, exactly. Like Crowder and the other people, sometimes Crowder kind of gets evenly matched.
Yeah.
And he respects that because they know their stuff. But there was one guy...
It doesn't change his mind. He's
exactly.
Just,
But there was this one guy that sat down, and he had like a sign. I forgot what it said.
Wait, I think I know what you're talking about.
It was
Is this
like,
where he's on the campus?
Yeah. He was like under like a blue tarp, and it said something. I forget what it was. But he didn't know his stuff.
Yeah.
Like at all. But and my question is, if you're holding a sign, and you're petitioning and like trying to raise awareness for something that doesn't have to do with what you sat down and do, why are you there? Like, why did you choose to sit down? That goes along with the whole thing
of, and this is, I wanted to make a video about this, but I'll just talk about it here. The whole thing of like being different just to be different. Because now it's like becoming a popular thing for like everybody to be like, you know what, I want to be different. That's like the whole supreme thing. It's like, oh, I'm different or whatever. No, you're not. Okay, you're just the same as the other 50 million people who bought that product. You're being what that company wants you to be. You're not different. I think it's
being like a living advertisement.
Yeah, it's more normal to be weird now. Right. You know what I'm saying? Which in some ways is kind of cool, and I totally get that. But I think it's just becoming a thing of like where you feel like you have to be different. You don't have to be different. You know what I'm saying?
I'm fine with fitting in and being normal. Like there's some people. I watched a video on Instagram the other day, and it was like. Those like big picture things when you go on a search feed and you get like those YouTube like the categories. Or like the TV, the Instagram TV or whatever.
Yeah, I never
right at the top. Well, there was one and it was of this like 11-year-old kid who was like a drag queen.
Okay.
Where this like little 11-year-old boy like saw his mom like watching a TV show where they like prepared themselves or whatever, and immediately put down his toys and like went up to his mom's room and like grabbed high heels and all that kind of shit and like started putting on makeup. And I was like, what? Like, I know there was a reason, but like, what? I'm trying to get behind it. What in your mind
was a kid?
Told you? Yeah. What in this 11-year-old's mind told him put down the toys and be exactly like the person that you see on TV right now?
I think that I don't know if that's necessarily the same thing. I think that's more like curiosity.
But no, that's like trying to fit in. You know what I mean?
I think it's like just more like, let me try that. You know what I'm saying?
But he's continuing with it. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to
so
do
he's
it.
Keeping it?
Yeah.
Know,
Like trying to fit in with the people that you see on TV to be normal. That's weird. For an 11-year-old boy to become a drag queen.
But then again, they're really impressionable. Like, you're very impressionable at that age.
Exactly.
So, something could be like that. I just figured that it was like, if it was like a one-time thing, it was just more like curiosity.
Right.
Or like, maybe he just wants to try it out. I don't know.
But he seemed like really passionate about it. Like he wanted to
then
be
maybe
a
it's
drag
like
queen.
Triggered something. He's like, oh, fuck, that's what I want to do.
Right. And like that, and that's like out of the ordinary for us, which means it's more normal to be weird.
Yeah.
So like that kind of stuff is becoming more normal. Like I've seen that. I won't be surprised if I see another 11-year-old become a drag queen.
That's kind of a beautiful thing, that weirdness is becoming more and more normal. But like, it's kind of ruining it because it for some people. If too many
people become weird, then what's?
But they're not being weird They're not being weird because they're just weird. They're just being weird because they want to be weird.
Right.
They're like, oh, I want to do that.
It's going to become normal, or it's going to become rare to be normal.
Mm.
It's just...
What if it flips and it's like you're outcasted because you're normal?
That'd be weird.
That could... Dude, that's kind of where we're heading. That's a weird thing. I've never thought about that.
And we have a president that's like completely against that. Communism. Who knows? Kanye's going to run for 2020.
I said communism, but yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Kanye.
Kanye is good.
Communism.
Honestly, Kanye, obviously, he's fucking crazy, but I follow him on Twitter. He's the funniest fucking dude because he's so, like... Kanye. You know what I mean?
He's funny, but like...
He's a bit crazy.
Some of his arguments are really whack.
Yeah.
Whether they're about like Polaroid with Lady Gaga or like about like...
I like some of the Gaga songs, but what the fuck does she know about cameras? Dude, I died. I still don't know the context of that, and I don't want to know it.
I don't know what kind of interviews he gets into. Like,
I didn't even know he had like
there was one where he's face to face with Trump, and then now he's talking about like Lady Gaga with photos and like, pictures and cameras and all that kind of shit.
Do you make music? What do you do? What are you doing?
Yeah, Kanye's he's a very special.
He's
individual.
Kanye.
Yeah. He's a Kanye.
Did you have another topic?
No.
You sad fucker.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm kidding. I got one more, and this might. Yeah, this will bring us to the end. This is like one thing, and this is kind of a weird thing. So you know the whole flat Earth thing.
Yeah.
I know it's like old or whatever, and like how that's an old thing. But two things that I want to bring up. One is their whole thing is like, why doesn't the water? Now, okay, Earth's a sphere, just to get my like position out there, and I'm sure that's how you.
Yeah, that's how I think,
okay.
Obviously.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm probably wrong. No. But they always think that it's like a plate. And, like, people always make the argument, like, okay, what if the water falls off? And their new, like, theory or whatever, this isn't necessarily new as of now, but it was, is that there's a giant ice wall, like, on the edges of the plate or whatever, on the edges of our world.
Saying, like, the North Pole and Antarctica.
Yeah, they're like a giant wall covering us, and we're just on a plate. You know what I'm saying? Like, on a flat surface. Now, obviously, like, that's a bit... No, that's not. No. What are you doing?
What keeps the ice from melting?
Okay.
Like,
that's not where I'm taking it.
But that's what I'm saying, like, that in an argument to that. That was just a thing. But
my whole thing was, like, I don't believe that at all, because, like, people have been to the Arctic. It's not a fucking wall, okay?
Right.
No. I disagree. I don't agree. But my whole thing is, like, how fucking cool would that be?
If it was just a plate.
Yeah. If, like, no. No, it's not. No. I mean,
to be enclosed by a wall?
Yeah. Like, how cool would that be if you got out to a certain amount into the ocean? There was just, like, a giant fucking
That
wall.
would be really cool. And it went from, like 1,000 feet or 1,000 miles in the air.
Yeah, like, that would be this...
Down to, like, 1,000 miles down.
Yeah, because it's keeping you in. It's like it's keeping you in this plate.
I feel like one of the first things that humans would do is go past the wall.
Yeah. I mean, if we could climb it, though.
Right.
Because you'd have to get up there and, like, atmosphere and stuff like that. So you'd have to go into space.
Or go through the wall.
But no, there's the whole thing of, like, there's the ice wall, and then it's a bigger plate outside of the ice hole, and there's more continents there.
Right.
That's their argument. Now I don't believe that. That's a bit too sci-fi. But
Yeah, because
that would be a fucking cool movie.
somebody would have already done that. Somebody would have already gotten over the wall.
Yeah, I feel like we would have. No, we would know if there's a wall.
And if there's other continents, we would know if there was other people out there. You know what I mean? And I completely understand the theory of, you know, like the moon has to affect the water and all that kind of crap, and that's why the way it is, and all.
I mean,
it's not because it's flat.
You
it's
can
because
test gravity.
Right,
Just
exactly.
put water in a bucket.
Also, we've been like you've seen.
Ready? I'm holding a pencil currently. I just dropped it. Okay, it went to the ground.
That proves that there's a center of gravity.
Yeah. Well, and their whole thing is that we're constantly in a state of going up. But I just thought like that. How fucking cool would that be if there was like a giant wall?
Right.
Like that would be a dope ass movie.
Like they have some serious sci-fi kind of shit going on.
Yeah, like make a dude. Fuck being a flat earther. Just make a
Make
profit
a
off those
movie
fuckers.
about it.
But I thought that would be dope. And then another thing that I thought was interesting, and this I'm not gonna side with them or anything like that. But this is the only thing that I've heard come out of like a flat earther's mouth, other than the wall. But the wall I think was just cool. I don't think it's a possibility. This is the only thing that I could be like, you know what? Yeah, that makes sense to me. This is the only thing. And it was weird coming to this like resolution or whatever of the fact that they believe their whole thing is that being a flat earther is more based on religion. Now hear me out. More like Christianity type stuff. You know, believing in God. Yeah, because that's the only religion that believes in God. What?
Sorry, I popped my knuckle.
Yeah, you fucked your knuckles up. Just shatters your fingers. Just falling off. But the whole thing is like flat Earth is more based on like religion. That's their whole argument. And what I mean by that is like, so if the Earth is a sphere, then that means that during the Big Bang or whatever, then that proves that it's a Big Bang or whatever. But that rules out a God because it was created by that or whatever. Right. So in their mind, it's like, okay, well that rules out a God. But if the Earth is flat, there's no explanation as to why it is. Therefore, let's believe in a God. This impossible thing that science can't explore or anything like that. That's the only thing that I heard. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it like you were in Earth and Space as well before you graduated.
Yeah.
But I'm in Earth and Space right now, and obviously one of the things we learned about was how Earth was formed.
Yeah.
And it was formed by, you know, like a massive meteor.
Which could be God
carrying water
that could
collided
be
with another one.
Yeah.
And yeah, like that could be a thing where, you know, God had the meteor that crashed in with Earth, like way, way back Earth. And
6.5 million
had that meteor crash. Well, had that meteor crash and bring water.
It was 65 million
to start life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That could be like a plan of God's, but I mean.
Well, so could the Big Bang, though. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
But
like God could have said, you know, let there be light, and then the Big Bang happened.
Yeah, that could be that.
And then the sun was created. You know, our solar system was created, and millions of others.
But I'm saying, like, looking at it from their perspective, like, okay, if they're basing off religion, like, that makes a little bit more sense as to why they're so crazy about it. You know, because Christians are fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah. Some of I will say, as a Christian,
y'all are crazy.
As a Christian, I mean, I do believe in God and that Jesus came, but like,
ew.
But that there are some beliefs of being extremely Christian and extremely Protestant and, you know, being extremely into that.
Yeah.
Like, this is the extreme.
Well, because there's different levels.
I've said extreme a lot.
Yeah. That was extreme, though.
To being, like, you know, the extremes of Christianity are really messed up. Like, they can be really messed up. Like treating women as property.
Yeah.
And, you know, saying...
That's like kind of old school. Like, I hate saying it like that, but
no,
like...
yeah,
you know
that's what I mean. It's because since Christianity is so old, the extremists of Christianity still believe in the stuff that was old, you know? Yeah. So, I kind of want to say circumcision, but that's kind of still relevant.
Yeah.
It's more of a Jewish thing.
Yeah.
As well as Christian. People, but that's not as extreme as, you know, treating women as property or having to sacrifice to God or, you know, because, you know, Jesus came for religious that reason. Podcast. But some people still sacrifice animals.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a little fucked up.
Yeah. But then again, we gotta eat.
Yeah. I mean, well, no, they sacrifice them and then just throw them away. Yeah.
They just leave them there. All right, we're going to draw a pentagram here, and we're going to kill the lamb. Where's he going? Get the lamb.
Fuck, go on. Yeah.
We're We're gonna fuck the lamp. No, but I just thought that, like, that was the only thing that like was like
kind of
okay,
proved it. Yeah.
that made sense to me. I don't think it proves their point.
Well,
by any
it just kind of
means.
proves the fact that
I get why they
why
think
they're
it now.
crazy.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
can totally because they're basing it as more of like a religion standpoint.
Right.
I can
Instead
see
of a
that.
scientific like.
Don't agree with it. That's a little no, but that's the only thing that they brought up to where it's like okay, I see your side, and the ice wall is just fucking dope. Like that would be so sick.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
They should make a movie called The Wall. And it's just ice.
They should call it Flat Earthers.
The crazies.
Maybe we should make that movie.
No,
It's
we're
probably out.
We're an hour and 11.
That's okay.
Bacon.
It's a bit out of our budget. I think that's gonna do it for this episode.
Yeah.
Great sesh. Oh, one more thing that I wanted to mention for anybody that's still here. No one's fucking here. But just to get it out there. Podcast is gonna be uploaded on YouTube pretty much Friday night. Ideally it'll be up on YouTube. Fuck the dog. She's like scratching.
Morning.
No, it'll be up on YouTube. Friday night. So it'll be up tonight, obviously, if they're listening to it. But as far as like getting it on the podcast app, that might take a few days because I submitted the first episode for podcast app or whatever, and they still haven't like reviewed it. It's still submitted for review, so they really haven't done anything with that. So I'm still trying to figure that part out. But on YouTube, it'll be up every single Friday.
Okay.
And I meant to talk to you about this. We might switch it over to like video.
Like having it as a video thing?
Yeah, like record
that'd
it.
be kind of cool.
I just want to make sure that we have like a nice little set to do that because we're just sitting in like an awkward position right
Yeah.
now. I thought about like getting a card table and just kind of going like,
Oh.
Jesus, puts a hole in the wall. But no, I thought about like doing, God, can you not?
Sorry, I like it.
I thought about getting like a card table and like going like classic GMM style and just like doing that.
Yeah, just sitting.
Yeah, I need to buy a card table.
The only thing is we look at each other quite often.
Well, I'm saying sit across from each other.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because like it
Now,
makes more sense.
How do we face the camera though?
What do you mean? We'll just have it coming in. You'll see what I mean.
Okay.
But I need to get a card table. I just didn't know if that's something that you'd want to do.
Oh, yeah, we can
I
do
figured that would be better for people because
Yeah.
they'd be like able. It's like a video that they can watch, not just audio.
What when do you plan on having that? Like next?
I mean, we could try it next time. Maybe go a little bit shorter next time, so I can make sure. So next podcast will probably be 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll cut it short. So try not to get too much material, even though you didn't.
Yeah, because
have
this
anything
one
last
was
time.
double that an
Yeah.
hour.
But I mean, that's fucking good though. We had a good discussion.
Yeah.
That's gonna do it for episode 2 of Thought Cluster. Build the wall.